For more videos like this, just click subscribe button.
Did you know that New Zealand was the first country in the world where women won the right to vote? Yeah. In the late 1800s, women in New Zealand couldn't vote or run for parliament. They couldn't even fully control their own property. But lots of women believed they should have a say in politics, especially when it came to decisions affecting families, education, and social issues. And they weren't afraid to speak up. The movement to give women the right to vote was led by the Women Against Christian Temperance Union. They wanted to improve society, and they believed that giving women the right to vote would help them do it. The union's leader, Kate Sheppard, became the face of the campaign. Sheppard and her supporters organized petitions calling for women's suffrage. The biggest one in 1893 gathered 32,000 signatures. That's nearly a quarter of all adult women in New Zealand at the time. When the petition was presented to Parliament, it stretched over 270 meters when unrolled. Many politicians opposed women's suffrage, fearing that if women got the right to vote, they would push for stricter laws on alcohol. But after years of debate and several attempts to get the law changed, on September 19, 1893, the Electoral Act was finally passed by just 2 votes in Parliament. Just weeks later, in the November election, thousands of women cast their ballots for the very first time. New Zealand had become the first self-governing country in the world to recognize women's right to vote. Although women couldn't stand for Parliament until 1919, their victory in 1893 inspired suffrage movements all over the world. Back in Britain, the National Union of Women's Suffrage Societies, also known as the New SS, had been campaigning for over 20 years to win the right to vote. But it wasn't until 1918 that their efforts paid off and the Representation of the People Act was passed, granting limited voting rights to women over the age of 21. Across the Atlantic, American women continued to fight for their right to vote. But it wasn't until August 1920 that the 19th Amendment to the Constitution was ratified, granting women in the United States the right to vote. Back in New Zealand, the country's first female Prime Minister, Jenny Shipley, who took office in 1997, said, "New Zealand women had a massive head start on other countries." And every year on September 19th, New Zealanders celebrate Suffrage Day to commemorate the hard-won victory. Today, we can't imagine a world where women couldn't vote. But it was only a little over 100 years ago that this became a reality. Thanks to the courage and determination of ordinary women who refused to give up in the face of opposition, women everywhere can exercise one of the most fundamental rights, the right to vote. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more videos.